Greetings, fellow Sling agents in the wild. Welcome back to the show. Well, it's that time. Time for the newest season to start dropping. But first, as always, the shoutouts. Coming in first, we have over on our YouTube channel our newest subscriber, Uncle Shata. Welcome to the show. Glad you're here with us. And we also have from Plays with Soldiers, who comments, "Great to have you back. I drive a lot for work and have worked my way through your back catalog, so I now await each new episode with anticipation. Keep up the great work, guys." And to that I say, hell yeah, that's some feat going through the archives. There are a lot of seasons and episodes back there. In fact, there are 119 that are devoted just to Delta Green. So that's you must drive quite a bit there, brother. Anyways, we are glad to be back. Remember, you can find us over on our YouTube channel at Roll the Heart 20, so be sure to leave me a comment so I could give you a shout out and make you known to the rest of the world in the ether. All right, enough of that. Let's not keep you in anticipation any longer than you have to be. Instead, let's warm up our dice and top off our glass as Roll the Hard 20 presents episode 1 of our homebrewed scenario, Playthings. Enjoy. All right. How's the brothers doing?
Good.
We ready to play? A little
Ready.
bit of homebrew here? All right.
Better than half an hour ago because I got to eat some breakfast or lunch or whatever.
Oh, so you're cranky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Angry.
I was getting that way. I made some eggs and some sausage. Fucking proteined up. I was telling Chris earlier, like, I think this is the quickest turnaround on a written homebrew. Like, from when we ended to recording a whole new season.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like forever.
You think so?
Yeah.
No.
Wasn't it like a couple months?
We were talking about it forever.
I don't know. I know it's been like 2 months since we released something, but
That's what I'm looking at.
yeah. But I mean, as far as the writing, usually it could take me longer to do. It also depends on my workload too. So, and how the idea is already fleshing out. But the next season, though, we'll be doing a published one. So a lot of the heavy lifting will be off of me because it's already created. I'll just go through and modify it for the for you agents.
Was it the
Yeah.
one guy suggested?
Well, he wanted us to run something.
The first part or something?
Yeah. So what I went with was Ex Oblivion. So.
I won't look that up, I promise.
It's not even going to resemble anything anyways. By the time I'm done putting my spin on it, you'll think it's going to be the same as the title. All right.
Okay.
Put an E on the end of it.
Well, let's lead us in and we'll begin. I'm actually giddy again.
Like a little girl.
I am. Greetings, fellow slinging agents in the wild. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20. It is I, your trusted handler, Brian, and with me, my hard slingers of yore.
Bring it.
Another one of our homebrewed scenarios, Playthings, episode 1. So you've all been dispatched, giving your notice to meet with a certain man, H. You wind up at Orange County Airport, find yourselves in the self-park structure, and make your way up to the second floor, blue section. You see a certain individual standing next to his car, blue Dodge Charger. He watches as the three of you enter into the structure one at a time, and for our listeners, because it's been quite some time, let's reintroduce our agents and who they are. Sammy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I should go each. So, Ichimaru Kimura, heir and I guess now leader of the fallen Kimura clan. Recently been reunited with my son, Kage, and now I am working on rebuilding the clan to its former glory. But now, instead of focusing on illicit things like gambling and prostitution, I'm now focusing my clan onto the removal of these entities that are invading our world.
Chris.
Playing Agent Corbin Rice. He is we'll call him a technical savant. He is trying to find his way back into the world after a pretty challenging case that has given him some new abilities that he wasn't quite sure that he had until he started exercising some technical prowess.
And Tone, Brother Tone.
All right. Playing Paulie Adesso, a warrant officer in the United States Navy, married with 3 kids, who has been working very hard to balance his family life and the pressures of Delta Green. He crusades because he believes and knows that there are things on the other side of the veil, and he wants to make it safe for everybody, specifically his family.
And I am your trusted handler, Brian, bringing to you both homebrewed and published scenarios for your listening pleasure. Heisenberg watches the 3 of you approach him, and you can tell right away he's got a stern look in his eyes. And he starts off, "Well, I hope you haven't been having a good day, agents, because I'd hate to ruin it for you. You're being sent to New Iberia, Louisiana, to look into the murders-suicide of the Trasco family, which occurred sometime in the early hours of yesterday morning. But, as with all of our cases, there's something being left by the side of the road. The Trascos are the 3rd family over the past 6 weeks to have met their end in the same manner. However, the circumstances surrounding the demise of each family are too similar to be coincidental. In the 2 previous instances, the local authorities believe that the families were killed by the mother, who then committed suicide. The same is being said of this 3rd family, and right now, the NIPD police chief is reporting to the news outlets that all 3 are unrelated. I would like to see how you classify them. It should be known that the lead on these cases, Detective Grady, most likely does believe that the 3 cases are related and that he's in over his head. There's a rumor that NIPD is about to take it off his hands and pass it off to the Louisiana State CID, the police's Bureau of Investigation. And if they get it, they'll have jurisdiction over this, and their say will be final. One other thing. The information the NIPD is presenting to the public suggests they're holding something back from the official report. We need to find out what that is, as it might shine a light into whatever is being obfuscated in this case.
How old are the victims of each family? It's like a Susan Smith kind of thing where all these kids were under 5 and drowned in a car.
Well, from what I could understand from the Trasco family, it's just a middle-aged wife and husband. They have a daughter that's 16, a daughter that's 12, a son that's 9, and another daughter that's 7. As for the other families, you'd have to get with Detective Grady on that.
And how did they die?
Well, right now what they're telling the public is that the mother killed the family and then committed suicide afterwards.
How did she kill them?
Looks like it could be a number of different ways. I'm not privy to the first 2 cases. This one looks like she went at him with a knife.
Did she kill them while they slept?
It looks like it was done in the middle of the night, yes.
Was the father killed as well, or just the children?
The father was killed also.
That would probably immediately mean that I don't think she would be able to take a general-sized woman and a general-sized man going at each other one-to-one. She must have done it when he was sleeping or incapacitated in some way.
That's what I'm believing.
Okay. What's our
throats cut,
crossover? What are we worried about?
We want to see how the other two families are related to this family.
They all live in the same area, correct?
Yes. But the thing is that the police are saying that the other two murders, suicide, are not related to each other nor to this third family, which is why we believe that they're hiding something from us. That's
what is that?
Well, because all these cases, they seem too cut and dry. The NIPD is being cagey about the information that they're presenting with these three cases, implying that they know they are somehow connected, and that suggests that their knowledge of their relation is their hidden information, and that once that veil is pierced, the public will look at their connection as the information the NIPD had kept from them, meaning they're figuring nobody's going to look any deeper than that, when in fact, it's what's beyond that that is what they're truly hiding. That's what we need to know.
And are they holding this back, worried that fear of a serial killer would be going around, or what?
It's possible. We think that there might be something to do with a serial killer. But then again, we're talking about Louisiana. Who knows what's going on with the locals? Maybe something in the water, I don't know. But what we need to know is what it is that they're holding back from us.
Well, maybe not a serial killer, but somebody who perhaps had influence over these three mothers, because all three of these familial deaths were perpetrated by the mothers.
That's correct. But yet, the NIPD is still saying that they're unrelated.
Yeah, it's...
Maybe we can look at the social medias of all these families and see if they have something joining them all together, a common church or a common club, or the kids all go to school together. We can find out more, I think, once we get more information on them, but...
Yeah, you're definitely going to want to get with Detective Grady on that. Follow up. See why he believes that they're all related. See if that lends credence as to whether or not he should retain these cases, rather than give it off to CID.
So our mission is just to determine what they're hiding. We're not to clean or confiscate any records or evidence or anything like that.
Well, it's always our purview to do that. If it's something that looks like it requires the agency's attention, which this is leaning that way, then we're going to need to clean it.
Right.
And we're going to need to find out who's a liability, who's an asset, and make the determination at that point. But we can't leave anything left behind. I'm already starting to get a lot of heat from some of the above individuals, especially after what went down in San Diego a couple weeks back. Apparently they're reporting about a huge mess that was left behind the San Diego Police Department's parking lot.
Sounds like someone's cleanup team didn't do their job, I guess.
Well, we could only get a cleanup team there as soon as we can. Unfortunately, if other people get wind of it, and next thing you know, we got media down there, then we've got to handle the media outlets to try to curtail that as well. We're always against the clock on this shit.
These mothers, did they then take the knife and kill themselves with it?
I'm gonna say so. I don't know how the other individuals had killed themselves or killed their other families. I just know what happened with the Trasco family.
Mother Trasco killed herself?
Yes.
In the same manner? Do we know?
As the other mothers, or as she killed her family?
As the rest of her family. Was the family's throat slit? Were they stabbed repeatedly?
I'm going to guess that she probably slit her throat. You're going to want to get with the medical examiner, though, and find out what his cause of death was with them.
All right, and Trasco, is that Trosco?
Trasco.
Okay.
So, get to the crime scene and get to the bottom of this. Report back to me when you have something viable about what they're hiding. He hands Rice a slip of paper. In it is the address, 518 Terrell Court, New Iberia, Louisiana.
What's the street name again?
Terrell. Terrell Court.
Okay. And this is the Trasco family?
That's correct.
Okay.
Your tickets will be waiting for you at the boarding ramp. You guys make your way onto the plane and take off. 5:20 p.m., your plane lands at Lafayette Regional Airport. With only carry-on luggage, you disembark and head to the rental car kiosk. But being the start of the weekend, most of the selection that would best serve your needs has been taken. Odesso, roll me a d4.
What color Charger is it going to be?
Exactly.
Fucking plug. We got to get a sponsor from them, man.
I know, right?
I got a
Dodge
1.
A 1.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing they have available is a Dodge Charger. Now, just so you know, and the listeners, you had a choice between a Dodge Charger, a Mercedes-Benz CLA, a BMW 3 Series, and a Honda Pilot SUV. Those were the 4 choices. Number 1 was the Dodge Charger.
Fantastic.
There we go.
I like it. There we go.
There we go. It's fortuitous.
Well, we all can look at each other and just start laughing. Another Charger. And I'll say it wasn't my choice.
Real quick, shotgun.
So you procure this gray Dodge Charger, and with the address of your latest crime scene punched into the GPS, you hit the road, taking US 90 east. It's 21.5 miles from the airport, and it takes you less than 30 minutes of travel time to get there. It's 5:50 p.m. when you roll up to 518 Terrell Court, the location of the Trasco residence. It can be found sitting on the corner of Terrell Court and Palm Street. Like the other single-family houses in this neighborhood, it boasts 2 stories. However, unlike the other single-family houses in this neighborhood, crime tape and police cruisers adorn its front yard. You see from inside of your car 2 police officers standing just on the other side of the yellow tape, right at the front doors.
Just for game purposes, how much time has elapsed since the murders to the time of our arrival?
It happened early yesterday morning, so we're probably talking about maybe 20 hours ago.
All right, well, I'll get out and move the seat forward to allow sweet baby Rice to get out from the back seat.
Lumbers out.
You need to go pee-pee?
As you guys straighten yourself out from this long flight, short drive, what's your loadout?
The Delta Elite 10mm with the hollow point silver bullets, a standard pocket knife that we would always carry, something along the lines of a utilitarian blade of some kind, and then
The one
2
time
reloads.
it's allowed to have a knife flick.
With the FBI identification that we have, we can get on the plane with all our stuff, so it's not really a problem.
Yeah, that really doesn't come into play too much anymore, but I am curious what you guys have on you. So,
Yeah.
Rice, what do
Pistol,
you got?
knife, 2 reloads.
So Rice has
Pocket
got
sand.
Rice carries a Glock 20, and then he's got a sling. I think Sammy would call it a European satchel.
Man
that
called
con-
it. Yeah, that's what he called it.
that
A fanny pack.
contains various electronic devices, some laptop and some other things that are typically used for signal interception, access to secure networks, things like that, because he has a technical background.
Each?
For equipment, I have my disposable gloves, zip ties, things like that any kind of standard policemen might have. Weaponry, I have on two, under my arms, two shoulder slings for my jack blades. And I have a Tonto in the back. And my firearm is a Glock something or other because I don't ever use it. It just says Glock.
You know what's ironic is when you spoke with Spencer at the San Diego Police Department, and he had mentioned that just one of those blades was enough for any one of those R&D companies to just annihilate everybody in that building just for one of those because of the technology built into it. And you're just like a pedestrian just wandering around with two of these things that like...
I could have had four total, but
Yeah.
I only have two hands.
I know, but it's just amazing that these things are like starting to become more common. You're starting to see a few more here and there, and you get the idea that they're probably higher echelon individuals.
Yeah, the higher echelon.
Those
individuals.
two, yeah.
Yeah, and mine's actually a +2 Jack Blade Frost brand. And then
good.
one is also a dancing one too, +5 Vorpal.
Oh, yeah, I
dancing.
was going to say you left the Vorpal one out behind the police
Yeah, I
department.
didn't want that. That would have made things too easy.
So the two police officers watch as the three of you get out of the car and start approaching the yellow crime tape. They're just watching you.
Adesso, I believe someone is eyeballing us and maybe needs to be entertained with a story of where we come from and what we're doing here.
Well, let's go into our usual routine of trying to be the helpful federal agents, as in, hey, we're from the government and we're here to help. Now, we already know that they're worried about losing their investigation to the state police, so let's try to feed into that by saying we're trying to keep it with you guys because local control seems to be better than dealing with a much larger bureaucracy like the state police. So, what do you guys think?
That sounds good. I hate those pigs.
Yeah, right. Corbin, your thoughts?
Absolutely. Let's do this.
Okay. So I'll walk up to the guy who looks to be in charge of the scene and ask him, okay, who's the agent in charge? Special Agent Adesso, Special Agent Kimura, Special Agent Corbin Rice. Who's in charge?
One of the officers looks at each identification in turn and then looks at you, Adesso, and says, that would be Detective Grady, but I believe he's already left, went back to the station. However, his partner, Detective Norris, is somewhere inside, agents, if you want to talk with him.
That would be fine. Gotcha. Detective Norris.
Yeah, just lift up the tape and come on in.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. They watch as you enter. As you walk inside, you could see that the downstairs looks very welcoming. Soft couches and deep wooden chairs. A room off to the right of the front door leads to a bedroom with an officer standing by the door. And the man looks pale. On the door behind him, you see a handmade plaque that reads, Lori Trasco's room, keep out. You can see there's a sweeping staircase that spirals up and makes its way up to the second floor. And there's every light on upstairs.
Yeah. I'll ask, did you guys turn these lights on or was it left this way?
Are you asking the officer by the bedroom door or the one of the officers at the front door?
One of the officers at the bedroom door.
He looks at you and he kind of licks his lips, and you could tell that his mouth is really dry. Mm-hmm. And he says, "No, that's the CSI. Were here earlier. Those are their lights. They're still on upstairs. I believe they turned on. They turned on all the bedroom lights and the hall lights.
Is CSI done with their sweep?
Yeah. They're just they're basically leaving it on for us and for CID if they come, or when Grady says it's okay for us to pull everything out if he has the say so to do so.
Okay, I'll introduce us, flash the badges, saying, okay, we're looking for Detective Norris.
Yeah, He's upstairs. Go ahead and make an observation check.
Oh boy. Okay.
Are we all rolling?
Yes.
Okay.
22.
35.
Critical success.
And these are, just so I'm clear, these are observations part of instinct, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I
instinct
rolled
times 5.
I rolled a 67.
67. Odessa, with your critical success, and each you as well, probably because you're both up front, you can see just beyond this officer into the room that he's kind of standing guard at. You see beyond him a computer desk and a chair with clothes that are kind of draped over it. You see a comforter and a pillow on the bed, but they're just soaked with blood. You can even see cast-off patterns on the walls and on the ceiling. Odessa, you would know this as being indicative of multiple interactions with the victim.
Was there a body down here, officer?
There was, Agent. They took her. The medical examiner already came and took her back to his office.
Were the other
Okay.
bodies upstairs in their rooms or something?
They were, yeah. This is, I believe this was the oldest daughter.
What are the
Lori.
names of the children, if you can tell me? We have Lori, and who are the other ones?
Yeah, he flips open his notebook as any good officer would keep. We have Lori Trasco. Looks like she was 16. Thomas Trasco, 9. Brooke Trasco, 12. And Maxine, I don't have her age.
Okay. We had heard there were the children were aged somewhat close together. I was under the impression there were only 3. It seems there's 4.
Yeah, you really want to go talk to Detective Norris. I'm just supposed to guard the door, agents. I don't want to step in anything. I don't know. There's a lot of rumor going around that.
Do you mind letting him know that we're here so we don't just barge up on him?
Yeah. He reaches up to his collar. He grabs his squawker. Detective Norris, got some agents down here. They want to know if it's okay if they come up. Settle up. Go ahead, agents.
Thank you.
All right, each will put on his gloves and things like that. And do you guys need any? I'm trying to show that we're actually, legit. Because they're just letting us stomp all around here with our dirty sneaks.
Well, you figure that most of this stuff has already been policed up.
Yeah, they did
Except-
say that the CSI guys were done.
Except for the stuff that they didn't find that we will find when we're here.
That's a good possibility.
Broken cane, anyone?
Yeah, good one. I would almost give you a gold.
Okay, and also, as we're going up the stairs,
Well, let me tell you as you're moving up the stairs.
I was just going to bring something up to Rice. Do you think there's any benefit into maybe checking out that computer down there, or maybe up here seeing what you may be able to find, a link to any of the other families through their contacts or something?
There's always value in looking at computers. Always. There's surely something that will present itself as some sort of evidence or breadcrumb for us in this case. I would like to get into that room at some point before we leave.
Damn right. Can't have any jambalaya without the rice.
Before we go upstairs, Adesso walks into the kitchen. I'm specifically looking for like the butcher block that they would have the knives. What I want to know is if the knives that the woman used came from the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for the kitchen's, carving knife set, for lack of a better term.
From Lori's room, you see that there's a hallway that goes to the left. And there's more lights that are on down that way. You get a feeling that's where the kitchen is. And as you start making your way towards the kitchen, the officer says, I'm sorry, agents, you can't go in there yet. I can't allow you to go in there.
Why is that?
Detective Norris has to be the one to release that because that's a crime scene down there as well.
Okay.
I'm sure he can answer any questions for you, but I can't. I'm sorry, he told me to keep the downstairs secure, and that if there's anything that needed, it's all got to go through him. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be the...
Not a problem. Has CSI been through here yet?
Yes, they were down here as well in the kitchen. I believe that's where the Miss Trasco took her life.
Got it. Okay, we'll save that then. We'll go back upstairs. We'll start meeting with him.
Moving up the stairs, you hit the curve in the staircase that goes from the second landing and starts going further up the stairs. And it's right about here that the crimson comes into full effect. You're hit heavy with the smell of copper in the air. Looking up towards the top of the stairs, you can see the taped outline of where a small victim would have fallen at the top 2 stairs, the head of which pointing downwards. At the top of that landing, you see it goes 2 directions, one to the right towards more rooms, and one towards the left towards a hallway.
Does the outline appear to be something of like a teenager, or is it smaller, like a 7-year-old? Or
It's smaller.
okay.
So it looks to me that this child was killed running away and didn't make it that far.
Okay. Well, I'll announce ourselves. Detective Norris.
And here, agents, and you hear it emanating from the hallway to your left.
All right. Do we all want to go follow him, or does one of us want to go snoop in the other rooms while he's there? We should probably be nice first, right?
Yeah.
Can always sneak in later.
Yeah.
Get off on the right foot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we go down the hallway and make sure not to step in any silhouettes or raspberry jam. And
Yeah, and the hallway's more of like a 3-foot entry before you get to the door to the master room. The door opens onto a room with a king-size bed against the wall to the right. The side closest to the door is so saturated with blood that there is a red puddle on the carpet underneath it. Being close to the door, this was most likely the father's side of the bed in order to provide protection from any threat that might occur. You see leaning against the far wall opposite the door and watching you enter is a man in his late 20s. He's about 6'2", in his 200s, and the man's just bulging through his suit jacket.
He's fat or he's swole?
No, he's swole.
Okay.
He's pretty beefed up. As you enter, he pushes himself off the wall, and you see him come to his full height. And he just stands in the middle of the room, and he addresses the 3 of you and says, "I'm Detective Cliff Norris. I'm assuming that since you made it past James and Willis, that you've got ID granting you access to my crime scene?"
That is correct. We're here. We're trying to assist Detective Grady. We were actually looking for him, but we hear that you're the next person who's in charge. We're from the FBI, and what we'd like to do is keep this local, because working with the State Department seems to be a problem. So we'd very much like to continue to work with your department on this. I understand the downstairs kitchen area is still in processing, or what exactly is going on?
Oh, no, I'm personally going over a few things down there. I want to be certain of a few things before I release the whole house. But as far as your first statement's concerned, with keeping it out of the state's hands, we're not going to have a whole lot of say-so in that. In fact, Detective Grady went back to the station because he had heard some words that we were going to be vacating this here premises pretty soon. So in order to buy us some more time, he went there to try to head this off.
We'll see what we can do by exerting some of our control. So we may be able to help you out there. So if you could tell us, what are your quick impressions as to what happened here?
Well, we got Luke Trasco, husband and father of 4, had positioned himself to sleep closest to the door, not realizing that the threat was coming from within. We've got Is that somebody's phone?
Sorry.
ringing?
No, it's Heisenberg. He's calling for an update.
Yeah.
Status report. Now. What the fuck? We have the 4 children, 3 of which are deceased. And we have the mother who killed herself.
Which of the children managed to survive?
According to my notes, we have Maxine Trasco, age 7. She managed to survive.
Was she attacked at all, or is she recovering from wounds?
I don't know what the extent of her injuries are, or if she even has any. She's currently being held at Iberia Medical Center main campus, undergoing observation.
Oh, she's still alive?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
An observation? Does that mean she wasn't like physically harmed?
I don't know the specifics, Agent. I just know that when we arrived on scene, that we had an ambulance take a lone survivor to Iberia Medical. And from my understanding, she did not sustain any life-threatening wounds.
And the outline on the top of the stairs, was that Brooke? Was that Thomas?
That was Thomas.
Okay. And Lori was downstairs?
Yes, she was the eldest daughter.
Not to sound crude, but where was Brooke found?
Brooke was in her own bed.
Can you tell who was killed first?
I'm not entirely certain, but I want to think it was Luke Trasco, because I think as soon as the children might have started screaming or crying, he would have been the first one to leap out of bed.
That would make sense. Okay, so she's not dead. Did she have any wounds?
I don't believe so. I don't think that any of the blood that was on her was her own.
And she's under observation at the hospital. Who are the next of kin?
Currently, nobody's been listed as the next of kin.
Okay.
At least not that I know of.
Okay.
And these other rooms, have they all been swept?
Yeah, CSI processed them and then left them to us to clear the rest of the house.
And are the other rooms similar to the kitchen? You're not allowing people to go in there?
Oh no, if you need to, agents, feel free to go ahead and go into the room if it'll help your investigation.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're not, stepping on any toes here. And what about the kitchen? When will that be open for us to take a look at? Because
I could take you down to the kitchen right now if that's what you want.
Well, the real question I have for this, was a kitchen knife used as the weapon?
Yes.
And was it a knife that came from this kitchen, like in a carving set or something?
Yes, that's correct.
and you have the knife then?
Yes. Well, it's bagged for evidence, but it's
Yes,
back at the
that's what I
station,
meant.
of course.
How about their cell phones, computers, and all that good stuff? Who has those?
I believe that would be back at the station as well.
Okay.
We policed up what we could. There was only 3 cell phones, the father's, the mother's, and the eldest daughter was Lori Trasco.
Okay. So you've ruled out a break-in. This is absolutely 100% crime committed by the mom. No chance of this being staged to look like it was when it really wasn't.
I can't lend any credence to it being staged. From my understanding, Agent, she had the blood of all the deceased just spouted all about her.
Did you find any prescription medications or any other controlled substances on premise?
She had some Ambien in the medicine cabinet. They had some gummies. I'm not going to judge anybody that's dead. So
But if
just
they're alive, they're a
recreational
bunch of junkies.
well, if they ain't going to share, I'm going to judge it.
So just recreational stuff, nothing, no hallucinogens or anything like that.
No, in fact, there weren't even guns on the premises.
Okay. So no drugs other than prescriptions and some recreational stuff, but nothing hard, no mushrooms, no hallucinogens or PCP or anything like that. No signs of break-in, all interior. Okay, so the next stop for us, I believe, would be to check out the kitchen. Just out of curiosity, why was that particular location off limits?
The kitchen?
Yes.
Well, I told all the officers down there that nobody is to have access throughout the house until either myself or Detective Grady grants them access to it. It's still technically an active crime scene. I can't just have people wandering around.
Understood.
So we could see all angles, make sure there's nothing being left behind or overlooked or being placed in places. Whatever's going on here, it's, in my opinion, I find it hard to believe that there's some kind of external source here.
Have you seen anybody manipulate a crime scene previously to this one? Is that why there's such high security around one particular location in this house?
Oh, look, there's been a few other families over the past 6 weeks that have died, been killed.
In a similar manner?
I can't lend any voice to that, Agent.
Well, we could. We're very new to this case. We're trying to catch up. Obviously, we don't know as much as you do, but we heard that there were, what was it, 2 other families that something potentially similar has happened. Could you at least let us know a little bit on that? We're trying to keep this quiet as well. We don't need New Iberia to be in fear that there's a series of these going on. If they're separate, then all the more reason to let us know the information so we can get rid of that immediately.
Yeah, and Detective Grady, he worked those other 2 families, but I think currently he's unwilling to admit that there's a connection between the other 2 family murders and suicides and the Trascos, or even amongst themselves, at least officially. And whatever his opinion is may be different than mine. I don't want to put in his stake in saying that all 3 are connected, because honestly, we haven't found the link between them.
Well, before you were a detective, I'm sure you were a cop, and before you were a cop, you were probably a person who had instinct and a gut. What does your gut say?
Between you and me?
Absolutely, and my fellow agents here.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Ooh. I pull out both jack blades.
Make an intimidation check.
He pees his pants. And okay, so persuade is 53, and then you said charisma was the other one, but my persuade is actually better. So under 53, 37.
He looks at you and he looks down the hall towards the 3 rooms that are well lit, and looking at the staircase leading up also to make sure nobody's looking. He says, between you and me, Agent, I'd have to say that there's got to be something connected between those other 2 families. Me being a beat cop for the better part of 7 years before I got my detective shield, I would say yeah. But it's one thing having a gut instinct and another thing proving it. And that's right now what we're trying to do. So much so that we even have the other 2 crime scenes of those previous 2 families still under observation.
Well, I would tend to listen to your gut. Just meeting you now, but that gut has saved our lives and guided our directions for so long that I rely more on that now than almost anything. So I appreciate your candor with us, and if possible, I'd love to check out some of these other rooms as well as the kitchen.
Yeah, go ahead and feel free to. As he's explaining this, his phone begins to buzz in his pocket. He looks down. Go ahead and make yourselves at home, agents, for lack of a better term. I gotta take this. And he goes off into the bathroom, which is opened onto the master bedroom. It's like the vanity is extended off the master bedroom. So he turns away and starts going, and you hear him talking on Detective Knowles. Yeah. Basically leaving you 3 to do what you need to do.
All right, well, out of game. Do we guys want to just search each room together? Do we want to take one each?
We can do that. We're just correct me if I'm wrong. We're looking for something that would tie all of the 3 families together, or look like it would.
Or something obvious they didn't find that we think goes, oh, hey, that rings our, like if we see an obsidian dagger somewhere in the room.
Yeah, or something that looks, exactly. We may find something that rings a bell from a previous investigation, or something we know that is other, and that may help.
And then maybe one of those rooms has computer terminal that maybe Rice can find out some information for us. Maybe these people all shared a business together. Who knows? I don't know. Do we know the names of the other families, Handler?
Not yet.
Okay. Well,
You
maybe
haven't asked either, so.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a quick sweep just to see if we notice anything out of the ordinary, because we know what we're looking for. Well, we know what the other looks for. That doesn't make sense grammatically. We know the signs of the other, or something coming from the other side. We may be able to spot it.
Dust around the
other beat
mirror,
guys-
that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Remember that?
So, lead me through what you're doing. Are you staying together? Are you splitting up?
I'd probably be quicker if we just did it together.
All right, let's do each room one at a time. We'll all go through it. Chris, what's your thought?
Yeah, I think we should stick together, sweep each room. More eyes on a single room at a time gives us a best chance of finding something that may be helpful to the investigation. Handler, while we're starting to, is the detective, he's still in the bathroom?
He's in the annexed vanity that's right off the master bedroom.
Can we hear what he's saying? Is he being kind of quiet?
No, he's being quiet. As he's talking on the phone, he's opening up the medicine cabinet and he's looking under the sink. He's not making idle time while he's on the phone. He's still processing stuff as well. He's multitasking is what he's doing.
Is he half-assing it, or is it...
No, he's really going through.
Okay. So, like, he's, like, legit trying to do his job.
Yes.
I guess what I'm trying to determine is he, like, just going through the motions that could, indicate that maybe he's not as engaged in this investigation as he probably should be. And maybe it's something like, with the three of us having been in many crime scenes, we have experience in how others may be processing.
As you watch him pick apart this master bathroom, go ahead and make an intuition check.
Intuition, off instinct. Okay, so I need to roll under 67. It's a 38, under 65.
It looks like he's doing his due diligence to look through stuff, to genuinely see what everything is. You see him pulling out bottles, looking at them, looking at the level of contents of it. He's looking around at the sink. He's looking down at the drain. He's tapping the pipe down by the trap. You see him actually doing it.
Okay.
Well, I'll make sure that as we're checking the room, I want to keep an ear out just and make sure he doesn't hang up the phone a certain way. Like, hey, baby, I love you, kiss the kid for me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Chris, that was amazing. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay.
So while just to finish up my part, so as Ichi and Adesso are kind of going through, I'm going to pull out, I have another phone that can kind of just listen for like radio frequencies or any other type of technology type of signal that might exist. So it looks like a regular phone, but I'm just kind of listening for that or observing on the screen. Is there anything that a roll that would
Yeah, go ahead and
result
make
in...
a technology roll.
All right, technology roll. And I'm going to perform this through each room that we process.
Okay, and that's an
What are you
intelligence.
looking for?
Just like any like radio signals.
You're looking
or,
for like RF or
yeah,
EMF or anything
RF,
like that, right?
anything. Because remember,
RFK?
Rice has, and Rice, what was that?
RFK?
RFK? No.
Picks up red dye? All right, never mind.
All right, I got to roll under 60. 36
Yeah, it's dormant. You're not picking anything up
in this room.
in the master bedroom, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Let's start sweeping, boys.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we could split up to where it's like bed, dressers, closet.
Closets.
You know?
Yep.
Okay.
So I think we should check the master bedroom first, even though the guy's here. He'll see us and hopefully just go, okay, yeah, they're just doing their busy work. So
Yeah, he looks over his shoulder and sees you and just kind of nods and goes about his business. Tell me what you're looking for and how you're going about it.
I'll check the closets. Let's say we split up. I'll check closets, and one of you guys take dressers.
I'll take
and one
the
of you take
nightstands, check under the bed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Each, you open up the closet, you see It's a 3-door closet where you slide from the left to right. You see that 2/3 of the closet's dominated by women's clothes.
Wow. That's pretty good. Usually it's the whole thing.
Well, the other half is taken up by a few shirts and jackets and more female clothes.
Yeah.
Odessa, as you open up the nightstand, you see that inside are paperback books, loose change, batteries, toys,
Oh,
all kinds of stupid, all kinds of things you'd find in a nightstand.
Gotcha.
Why is the
Anything
phone
that stands
vibrating?
out, though?
No, nothing abnormal at all.
Is there like a lamp on the on the end table? I check the bottom of the lamp, check around the clock that's there, and look on the floor.
Yeah, doing that, you don't see anything. It all looks, IKEA, Target, just normal attire that you would see in a house in a master bedroom.
Anything under the bed?
With 4 kids.
Yeah. Under the bed, you see shoes, a huge puddle of still very tacky blood, storage bins, nothing of value under there. Meanwhile, Rice, you're still going around with the boop, 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 looking for the motion tracker, seeing if there's any aliens coming down.
Nothing in the closet of note. I'm checking top shelves. I'm checking maybe some old, fancier clothes for pockets. Maybe they, oh, no, I don't use these clothes. I'm going to put the secret microchip in one of the pockets, that kind of stuff.
Top shelf, you see shoe boxes.
More toys.
Yeah, well, you pull one down, you see it's old family photos and stuff like that of the kids, family gatherings, massive family gatherings with other people and stuff. You see birthday parties, just shit like that.
Okay. And nothing on the floor, like any shoes, boots that have anything in them maybe, or
No.
secret compartment in the floor where Walter White hides his money.
No, you don't see anything abnormal. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it seems like a pretty blue-collared family, middle-of-the-road family. I don't think they...
But we're here, so obviously there's something going on.
Obviously, there's
Yeah,
something
we're here.
not right.
Yeah. You're lucky I'm not taking the heels off the shoes to see if they have phones in it,
For all intents and purposes, this room, from what at least the master, just looks like any normal run-of-the-mill master bedroom that you would expect to see in just a suburban family.
Yeah.
And I believe the preferred nomenclature now is the primary bedroom, not master bedroom, because that was deemed racist.
No, we brought that
Primary
back.
bedroom. And when we pulled the drawers and everything, did we pull? I guess because we were all operating independently in the room, like the bottom drawers of the dressers and stuff. Did we pull those out to see if anything might be like under the bottom drawer? Maybe.
I'm assuming
on the floor?
Adesso did that. Went through all those, and there was nothing in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking for something like inscribed on the back of a drawer in blood or something else, or a totem embedded in the wall or something
Giant
you would
dragonfly.
notice. Yeah.
In a jar.
Because up to this point, nothing is like triggering how these are connected, how these 3 familiar deaths are connected in any way. We just know that there's been 3 of them, and so far nothing is sticking out to us that would indicate why this Trasco, the mother, like flipped and murdered her family.
You're right.
Well, we got a couple other bedrooms to look at
Yep.
still.
Okay.
Well, I think we should check out those bedrooms next episode.
Aw.
By the way, Tone, we added another role. It's called the recall role. And it's based on intelligence plus 20%. And that's used for if you hear something earlier in the season or from another season, do a recall roll. Like, hey, did I know that guy? It'll help you remember stuff that may have passed that you should already know. But
Right.
because the investigation gets moving so fast, maybe you will forget something. But the recall roll will help with that. So.
Got it. I like it.
Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast, Remember, you can find us and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora Radio, iHeart Radio, Amazon Podcasts, and Audible. And if you like what you're listening to, be sure to leave us that 5-star rating and review. Don't forget about our YouTube channel at RolledHard20. So if you're into watching and you want to help support this show, then head on over and hit that subscribe button. It really does help the show out. We can also be found in the wild on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so don't forget to look for us there and check us out. You can also contact the show directly at rolledhard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rolledhard20podcast.com, where you can download the current show directly, pick and choose past shows from our archives, or view our galleries. We've got a lot of stuff posted over there, so check us out. And finally, join us on our Patreon at patreon.com/rolledhard20podcast, where you can become a hard slinger and pick up swag. So until next time, keep your dice warm and your glass topped off as you roll those hard 20s.